Welcome to Visa Things, the podcast where we aim to simplify your US visa application journey, one topic at a time. I'm your host, Denzel James, and today we are diving into a scenario that many may not expect, but it's becoming increasingly common. We are talking about why some individuals who are fully qualified to renew their US visas may still find themselves facing a denial when seeking an extension. Specifically, we'll explore a situation that touches on a practice known as birth tourism and the implications this can have on visa renewal applications. Before we dive into today's topic, let me ask you to like and follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Visa Things. Now, let's get into today's topic. One of the most frequently overlooked reasons for a visa denial happens when a person has previously traveled to the United States and given birth there. This is often done to secure US citizenship for the newborn, a practice that, while legal, can raise some red flags for immigration authorities when it comes time to renew the visa. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, let's unpack it. First, birth tourism is the practice of traveling to another country, often the US, for the purpose of giving birth so that the child is automatically granted citizenship in that country. The United States, under the 14th Amendment, grants birthright citizenship, which means that any child born on US soil is automatically a US citizen, regardless of the nationality of the parents. While there is no specific law that forbids this, the immigration system has begun to scrutinize this practice more closely because of its broader implications. When reviewing a visa renewal application for someone who has engaged in birth tourism, immigration officers might raise several concerns. Some of the key issues that could lead to a denial include misuse of a tourist visa. If you entered the US on a tourist visa, but your real intention was to give birth there, that can be seen as misrepresenting your purpose of travel. Even though giving birth while on a tourist visa is not illegal, immigration authorities may consider it as a misuse of the visa if the primary purpose of the trip was not tourism, but rather securing citizenship of your child. Unpaid medical bills. Many hospitals in the US provide care for women giving birth. But if the cost of the medical services were not fully covered or went unpaid, that becomes a serious issue. Hospitals may report unpaid bills to credit agencies, and in some cases, these issues are brought to the attention of immigration authorities, which can be detrimental when applying for a visa renewal. Lack of ties to home country. Immigration officers want to ensure that visitors have strong connections to their home country, such as family, employment, or property ownership, which indicates that they will return after their visit. If an individual has given birth in the US and has family ties through their child, it may signal that they have less reason to return to their home country, raising concerns about their true intent. Becoming a burden on the United States public resources. Another major concern is the possibility of becoming reliant on public resources in the United States, such as public health care, welfare, or other forms of assistance that are intended for US citizens or residents. If someone gave birth and left unpaid hospital bills or accessed public assistance, it could be seen as an economic burden on the US system. Perceived immigration intent. This is one of the most subjective but critical concerns. If the immigration officer believes that by giving birth in the US, you may be attempting to establish a pathway to permanent residency or citizenship, this may question your true intentions for visiting the country in the future. This perception alone can lead to a denial of your visa renewal application. Potential for overstaying. Given that birth tourism sometimes signals a desire to gain permanent residency in the US, immigration officers might fear that if granted a visa again, the individual might overstay their allowed time or violate the terms of their visa. This can be particularly concerning if there is a pattern of visits with long durations or any past overstays. In essence, these concerns revolve around the use or misuse of resources meant for American citizens and residents by a foreign national, sometimes referred to as an alien. And I use the term alien in quotes because it's a legal term when reviewing these cases. The reality is, the consular officers may have to consider the bigger picture, including whether the applicant might be looking for ways to immigrate to the US outside of the legal process. To wrap things up, it's important to note that when it comes to dealing with US immigration, nothing is set in stone. Each case is reviewed individually, and what worked for one person may not work for another. The old saying goes, go for luck, see for luck, meaning everyone's luck or circumstances are different. I'm only sharing my observations based on common trends and situations. If you have any questions about today's topic, feel free to ask them in the comments section. We'd love to hear from you, but please remember that we try to maintain structure in our discussions. So we kindly ask that your questions relate directly to the topic at hand. If there is a specific topic you would like us to cover in the future, we are always open to suggestions. You can send us your ideas through our WhatsApp number 3815031 or leave a request in the general section of our social media platforms. I hope today's topic have been informative for those who have been denied a visa renewal for reasons related to giving birth in the US, as well as for those who might be considering traveling to the US while pregnant. Remember, there are potential consequences for actions that could be seen as an attempt to game the system. Before we leave, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Visa Things, and don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and X. I'm Denzel James. Be good, be safe. You have been watching Visa Things.